Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee Trails, the series in which I'll be exploring the world of coffee and the stories behind every cup. And today we're in Nevin with my lovely girlfriend Mima. We're going on some nice walks, chilling by the fire, watching some good telly and some good food, and of course making some good coffee. It is a very wet and grey and windy day outside, so...
It's very apt though, isn't it, for your video about water?
Sure. Yeah, today's about water and the power of water. So how do you like your morning coffee?
Ooh.
That's going to be every guest I have on Coffee Trails, I'm going to ask them that.
Okay. I like my morning coffee like a latte. It's like milky and sweet.
So we're here at Two Islands in Abersock. Do you like it? She's got a nice little flat white. Mima's waiting for her vanilla latte. Mima's vanilla latte. Talk me through the flavours.
That is really nice.
Do you just like the milky sweet taste of coffee?
Probably.
Well, the coffee that we'll be trying today is a very unique and complex blend, so
Is it?
you could like that, you never know.
There we are then.
Right, so yeah, we're going to go to Tŷ Coch now. It's a lovely little pub nestled right on the beach. It's about a 2-mile walk there, and that's about it. Should we get going? So Nevin is in the northwest of Wales, located about 20 miles west of Snowdonia. And in the 19th century, herring was the prime trade for Nevin. So they were able to utilise the sea, but nowadays Nevin has a really stormy relationship with the sea. The UK has a very vulnerable coastline, with more frequent and stronger storms, alongside sea level rise. Coastal erosion is a very real problem. This is also a big problem here in Nevin. And in 2021, a big landslide happened right here on Nevin Beach. Luckily, no one was injured, but it's left a scar on the community. Parts of somebody's garden also crashed into the beach. The cliffs here have a surface geology of weak, superficial drift deposits of clay, silt, sand and gravel, but it was made even weaker when it was saturated by heavy rain. And this isn't even the first time it's happened in Nevin. In 2001, another landslide occurred in the beach car park, sadly killing one and injuring another. So just here where this wooden fence is where the 2001 landslide happened. So there's a big landslide right into the car park just down there, which is very, very sad. We're about a mile into the coastal walk to Tŷ Coch. It's going well so far. We just had to go up and down quite a big hill, but it's literally right there. We've got about one more mile to go. So in the first episode of Coffee Trails, I gave you a brief overview of the coffee industry and why the climate is so important for it. But today I'd like to delve deeper and go into more specifics. Today I'll be looking at the power of water and why it can be both great and detrimental for the coffee industry. So of course coffee needs water to grow, around 60 to 90 inches of annual rainfall to be exact. And rain also brings cooler temperatures, more cloud cover, which in turn slows down the maturation of coffee, giving it a fuller body, more sweetness, less acidity. However, too little rain and the plants can really struggle. Too much rain and things can go really wrong. When rainfall drops below 30 inches per year, plants can really struggle, leading to weaker branches, lower yields, and it can also really affect the development of the bean inside the cherry, leading to weird, twisted, undersized and poorly formed beans. On the other hand, heavy and excessive rainfall comes with its own set of problems, but it's a bit more indirect. Climate conditions can really affect the timing and the health of the coffee flower, and if flowering occurs during a constant downpour, it can pause their development, meaning it will stay dormant rather than it blooming. And this can happen naturally during a phenomenon known as El Niño. El Niño is a natural climate phenomenon that occurs when trade winds weaken over the western Pacific, allowing warm water to shift eastward towards South America. Normally, these winds push warm water towards Asia, allowing cold, nutrient-rich water to rise along the coast of South America. But during El Niño, the weakened trade winds cause warm water to build up in the eastern Pacific instead, disrupting the global weather patterns. For coffee farmers, the impact is severe. For instance, in 2016, El Niño-related water shortages in Vietnam and Indonesia caused a decline of around 10% in global production. And too much moisture can also create the perfect conditions for diseases to spread. Coffee leaf rust is caused by a fungus which attacks the coffee plants, causing the leaves to turn yellow and reducing the plant's ability to produce energy through photosynthesis and can ultimately lead to crop loss. This disease thrives in humid and wet conditions and has been a real issue through most of the coffee-grown regions, and many fear that the problem will only get worse with heavier and more unexpected rainfall. So, this leads to the question, is rain good or bad for coffee? Well, it depends. Well-timed rain can help coffee thrive, but droughts and flooding can of course make life really hard for farmers. As we've learnt then, water is really powerful. It shapes landscapes, fuels life, and has a big impact on coffee production. However, some farmers have actually utilised the power of water and turned something that has been a challenge for a lot of farmers into something quite unique. So we're able to find this little spot by the beach, which is only about a 5-minute walk from the cottage, and it's a nice little private spot down these stairs right on the beach, and it's a perfect little place where we can brew some coffee. So today I'll be brewing a coffee from India. It's called the Monsoon Malabar, and it's a coffee that doesn't just withstand heavy rainfall, but it's one that actually thrives because of it. And this coffee actually dates back to the 18th century, where it would be transported from India to Europe on wooden vessels, and the beans are exposed to the humid monsoon air, which actually changed the beans' colour, texture and taste. So by the time they arrived in Europe, they actually developed a smooth and more mellow character, which became highly prized. And today this process is actually replicated along India's Malabar coast. So now these beans are stored in a warehouse and they absorb the monsoon air for up to 7 weeks. And this really unique process gives the coffee tasting notes of spice, malt and tobacco. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying these beans. I've never tried them before, and what better place to do it as well. So again, we're looking for about 80 grams of coffee. Today we're going to be using a V60, which is a pour-over coffee. I think it's ready. Woo! It smells lovely. So as I said, we're going to be making this coffee with a V60, which was one of these bad boys. So it's like drip down coffee. You use one of these V60 filters, pop it on the top there. So the water looks about ready, so the first thing we're going to do is pour a tiny bit of water on top, just to get rid of that papery taste. Let that drip through, chuck that away, and now we are ready. Very intrigued to try this. Just by smell I can really get those smoky notes. Cheers. Yakida. Again, really smoky. There's a bit of like spice to that as well. It's really interesting. I can tell it's got a really full body, not much acidity to it. And I don't know how to describe it. It's like very deep flavour. I really wish I was better at describing the coffee, but yeah, very deep, very spicy. It doesn't taste like your classic Arabica sweet, citrusy coffee really. And I found that the process of making coffee outside isn't that hard, and it's very affordable as well. Like the 2 small metal stoves I use are about £3 each. The outdoor kettle I got for about a tenner. And this bag of coffee was about £6 as well, so it's all very affordable. And of course you can get some really fancy equipment, which I probably will be getting. This is lovely, it's like a really comforting drink. And what a better place to enjoy it as well.